Welcome to Module 5. In this module, you'll be learning about the impact of environment on behavior and how to change the environment to foster expected behaviors. You may have noticed in this course that sometimes I use the word appropriate behavior, but sometimes I use the more modern word expected behavior. We talk about expected behaviors because different behaviors are appropriate for different environments. So, for example, it is perfectly appropriate to yell and scream at the ball game. It is not appropriate to yell and scream at a concert. So when you talk to an individual and you tell them yelling and screaming is not appropriate, they may wonder, yesterday you said it was when we went to the Orioles game. Why are you upset that I'm yelling now? And so switching the focus to expected really emphasizes the contextual nature of behavior, the fact that behavior is really dependent upon environment. So in this module, you will be learning ways that you can change the environment to foster behavior that is appropriate or expected in the individuals you work with. Think about a young child whose room is very messy. They have hundreds of toys all over the place. There are piles and stacks everywhere. Different pieces are strewn all about. When that child goes to their room to play, are they likely to play productively? Probably not. They're probably going to break things, throw things, make a mess, throw temper tantrums because there's no way for them to organize their behavior in that kind of environment. If you go into that child's room, remove some of the extra toys, remove everything that's broken or that they don't enjoy anymore, and narrow down the choices to a just right number of options that are right, that are very age appropriate, that are interesting, that they enjoy, and you put them out in a neat, organized fashion where the rest of the room and the floor is clear and available for play. What you will probably find is now that child goes into that room and they can play much more constructively because you change the environment to foster good, constructive play. Similarly, if you have an adult that you work with who you know has a lot of issues with sensory stimulation, they get overstimulated easily, they don't do well in crowds and noisy environments, and you take them to a large crowded restaurant during dinner time, you know that it is likely that that individual is going to struggle. However, if instead you say, well, let's go to this restaurant at a quiet time when you know they're not going to be busy. Maybe you talk to the restaurant ahead of time and explain the situation and say, is it possible to seat us off in a corner you don't usually use during that downtime? Or you do takeout and then you take it to a park or someplace else where the individual will have less sensory overload. You are much more likely to see behavior that's conducive to a relaxing social meal because the individual is not bombarded with senses that they just can't tolerate. So throughout this module, you're going to learn ways that you can change the environment so that way you see more behavior that is expected or is appropriate for the situation and allows you to engage productively and collaboratively with the individuals with whom you work.